Hello guys, welcome back. On this video we're going to talk about what is file system, what is source control, and how can we clone, how can we create a new repository in GitHub and make it our own by pushing the new stuff in there. So the first thing we're going to talk about what is our file system. So file system, think the file is like a paper in a folder but on a computer which hold a bunch of information. So for example, if I go to any file in here, let's go to download, right? So I have a this is my YouTube banner. So if I go here and if I go to the get info, you will see so much information about this file, so which is called a metadata. So this is known as metadata, which describe what is this file is about, what is its extension, where is it coming from. All this information is in here, and like how much access you have, the permission, the read and write permission, and all that stuff. So but once we understand the file system, we have to understand how to navigate the file system using a terminal. So in order to become a good programmer, this is essential but really simple things that we should know as a basic knowledge for a programmer. So what we want to do is we will go ahead and learn a little bit of command in here. So we have few command in here. We have a cd, which is known as a change directory. We have a pw, which is known as a print working directory, and we have a ls, which is known as a list for our directory. And we have a rm, which means to delete, remove, and we have a -r, which means it's like forcefully removing it. So we will go over all this file system, and we'll talk about the source control. So let's go ahead and open our terminal. So I'm gonna go ahead and do pwd in here. Let me make this bigger, a little bit bigger. All right, so you guys can see more in here. So I'm gonna type pwd in here. Once you type pwd, it will show you the location of where you are. So I'm currently on my user / Anish Nirola, which is my name. So in here now, if I want to go to the desktop, what I can do is I can type cd desktop. It will take me to the desktop. Now there is another command, which is this one, which is right above the tab on your keyboard. This is called a tilde, which will help you go or come back to the main root of your folder. So if I type this, it bring me back to my location. So if I type pwd, it takes me right to the on my the root. Let's not say root of my file path, but it's somewhat root on my user. Okay, so but if I want to go to let's say somewhere, so I have a bunch of folder in my document, right? So let's say if I want to go inside this chat, right? So what I can do is I can type something called this /chat. It says okay, there is no file found, right? Because it doesn't know where this is coming from. So but what we can do to figure this out is so we'll go to cd document. Okay, now cd document. Now if we type ls in here, the one that we talk about, we have a bunch of files and folders in here, right? Since I'm a developer, I have mostly things that is related to coding and all that stuff in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear this. So what I can do is clear, but now if you type pwd in here, you will see a location for the document. So now if I do the cd chat, right, it will take me to the chat folder. So now I'm on the chat folder, right? So now I want to go back to the, let's say, the desktop. So what I can do is if I type this, it will take me back to the desktop. So the other way that we can go to the chat directly is we have to do this cd, and we want to do this /document, right, and chat. So this will take directly to the chat from the desktop, instead of doing like, you know, like let's go back to this. So the process that we follow to get to the chat is we have to type like, you know, document, and we have to go through the document, and we have to go to the chat. But if you use the tilde, you can directly pass the location of that chat, for example, and it will take you right there. Okay, so now what we're going to talk about is how to go back. Let's say I'm going to go back to the desktop, right? So if I do cd dot dot, it will take me one step back. So if I want to go, let's do cd desktop again. If I want to go to two step back, I can do cd dash dash, cd dash dot dot, not that dash, cd dot dot / dot dot. So anytime you have a slash, it will take you to one step back followed by the dot dot. But now, okay, let's go to, so now it doesn't recognize. So now I'm on I'm on user path if you type pwd in here. But now if I want to go to the main, I can just type that. So what about if I want to go like in a 3-step down? I can do this, it will take me 3 steps down. So I'm on the root of my path for this machine. So let's go back here. So what about if you want a create a, like, you know, folder or anything on your machine? So let's talk about how to create a folder. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the desktop, and in here I'm gonna type ls. I have few recordings that I'm recording for the today. So I have another folder called the Java 2023 test, right? So I'm gonna go ahead inside this. Actually, I'm gonna remove Java 2023. So what we're gonna do is, the first thing we're gonna check if the Java 2023 has anything or not. So if I do ls in here, we have something called the test folder inside the Java, right? So now followed by the instruction in here, right? If I try to remove the directory, so rm dir, and the directory name is let's go one step back, okay? Because I wanna, okay, I'm gonna do rm dir Java 2023 test, right? It gave me some warning saying the directory is not empty, saying that if we go to Java, this folder, and if you do ls, since we have something inside the test, right, it is telling me that, well, you cannot delete this until you remove the everything that is inside the folder. So the folder needs to be empty if you want to use this command. But what if you want to forcefully delete the folder and everything that is inside the folder, right? So for that, what we can do is we want to do remove rm, and we want to force this, okay, forcefully remove, and we're gonna say, okay, let's go back, okay, cd. So what we're gonna do is rm dash r, this one. So now if I do ls, that thing is gone, because now I say forcefully remove this Java 2023 test, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and clear. So this command is really risky, and you gotta be really careful when you use this command, because, you know, just one line of command will remove everything from your device. So be really careful and vigilant about, like, you know, what you want to do about it. So now we're going to talk about how to create a folder. So what we want to do is we're going to do make mkdir, and let's call this a Java first day. Okay, so now if I look at this one, I have Java first day, right? So this way is to create a directory or create a folder. So what about if you want a create a file? So what you want to do is let's go inside this Java first, right? And I'm gonna do touch. I'm gonna do let's do test.txt. So now if I go to the ls, I will see a test.txt. So how do I remove the files? Now we talk about removing an entire folder or the folder. Now in order to remove the file, it is same thing. And pretty much same thing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna type rm and we wanna type test.txt, and this will remove the file from our machine. Okay, so now these are the basic steps to create and remove files and folder. So now let's talk about what is a source control. So source control is a way that computer programmers keep track of their work. So let's say, like, you work on a team and you want to push something that you have worked on. You want to use something called the Git, which will track your different versions. So if I have a GitHub login, I don't have a GitHub login, so let me log into my GitHub real quick. Obviously I need authentication code. Okay, so now I'm logged into my GitHub. So I'm gonna go to the entire academy assignment. If you look up in here, this is a commit version, so which will have a different information. So in this commit version that I added this much, I removed this line. So this will tell you, like, what you have worked on. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about something the very important is a Git status, right? So before we do that, like, follow with me on this one. So what you want to do is you want to go to your GitHub and click on plus icon on the right corner, left beside the profile, and click on new repository. So I'm gonna give this a repository name as a Java 2023. Let's do test. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and create the repository, empty repository. I don't have anything in here, nothing unique, nothing like anything crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and create this. Now once you go to this page, like, there's nothing that GitHub can show me, right? So what I can do is I'm gonna copy this by clicking in here, or you can just do this and right click, or you can do Control C, Command C based on your machine. So what you want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and clone this on my desktop. Okay, so I'm gonna type git clone. So git clone will help you get the same code that is in the internet to your machine. So when I type this and click enter, it gives me cloning into this, and the warning your repository is empty, saying that we don't have anything in here. So now what we want to do is we will add some files and we will push this code. So let's do cd and let's do ls first. So let's see. Okay, we have now Java 2023 test that we clone. So we want to do Java, let's do Java 2023 test. And as soon as I did that, I have some configuration that I have added on my the git bash or the terminal shell that kind of tells me, like, the GitHub information. So it is telling me I'm on my main branch, which is correct. So I'm gonna go ahead and create the folder in here. Okay, I'm gonna do test, and I'm gonna go inside that test, and I'm gonna do touch test.txt, right? So now if I go one step back, and if I do type status, this will give me a status which folder or which file is not yet added to the GitHub. So in order to add it, what I have to do is I have to do git add, and I'm gonna go ahead and add all. This -a is means all. Now if I type git status now in here, see, like previously it was red, now it is green, saying that okay, this thing is yet to be added, but it hasn't, you know, committed yet. So in order to commit, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do git commit -m. So -m means message, so do not forget this line, and followed by the double quote, and we want to say created a test folder. This is telling the other user or to yourself later on in the future, if you ever come back to your commit and see what you have done, this is the message that you provided to better understand for the other developer as well as you, to see what you have done for this specific commit. So I'm going to go ahead and commit to this one, and I'm going to do git push. Before I git push, I'm going to show you something. Watch, I don't have anything in here again. So as soon as I do the git push, it does something in here, and so now if I refresh this page, there you go, I got a test in here. Sometimes you will see your, like, you know, view code in here, and you can just click on view code and you will see this test folder in here. So once I open the test folder, then you will see a test.txt, which we don't have anything right now, right? So now I'm gonna go to the desktop. Let's go to the desktop. Let's go to our 2023 test. I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna say okay, this is practice, right? I'm gonna save this. Okay, I saved this one. Okay, let's close all this. Now I'm gonna go back here, right, and I'm gonna type git status. See, it says it is modified now. So since I added something in here, it is known as modified now. So I'm gonna do git add, same thing, git commit -m message added test file, and I'm gonna do git push. So what's this now? Since I'm on the test.txt, as soon as I reload it, I have a text in here called this is practice. So this is how we git add, commit, and push. So this most important command line are this one, git status, which will give you the status of your changes, and it will add by git add all, and commit by typing this one, and git push, you can do git push origin main, because I was in the main already, so I just did git push. There are other git command line. There is something called git init, git clone that we see, and there is another thing called git pull. So let's look at the git pull real quick. So since I'm the only user in here, I'm not gonna do something on the other desktop and come here, but just for now, right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and click on edit button, and I'm gonna change this to my name is Anis Nirula. Right now, if I click and commit and I say commit changes, I'm doing this by the GitHub original website. Okay, so this thing is changed, right? But in our machine, has it changed yet? No, right? Because we haven't done any git pull. So this is still this is practice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do git pull in here. So as soon as I did the git pull, let me go back here, test.txt. Now I have my name is Anis Nirula on my machine as well. Okay, and there is other one, git checkout, if you want to create a branch and stuff like that. We'll talk more on this one. And git merge, if you run into any problem, we'll talk more into that one as well. So since now we learn about what is file system, what is source control, how to clone, add, check status. Also, like learn how to add, remove uh, the folders and file. This will get really useful in coming days, especially the cd line, cd command, and the pwd and ls. Those are the most important command line that as a developer we use like day to day. But other, like the remove and other stuff is like is depend on like what you work on. So this is all for this video. So I will see you guys on next one. Thank you.